when somebody does file an insolvency, there is a payment that they have to make. Sometimes it's called surplus income. And how does this child support or spousal support obligation come into play when we're calculating that legislated surplus income payment?
Yeah, when we're looking at things like surplus income, so it's a guideline put out by the superintendent of bankruptcy. They regulate everything we do. And one of the things they look at is if a person is earning an income that's above a certain level, there's an expectation to contribute part of that income back towards their debts. But one of the things that's given consideration is for things like child support or spousal support that is deducted from that amount before we do the calculation. And that provides a benefit because in a lot of the court systems, when they look at family law, what they're trying to look for is to sort of preserve that family unit and to look at that income is needed to support whether it be a spouse who hasn't worked for many years or whether it's to support the children. So the one benefit is with the support payments that it does help bring that payment down. Now, having said that, one of the requirements though is it does have to show proof that the payment is being made before we can give credit. But in many cases, somebody may have very good income, but once they've paid support, that's taking them down below a level where there's any requirement to pay any contribution back to the creditors.
David, does it matter how many people are living with the individual who's paying support? Does that affect how much they have to pay?
Well, it can be based on its income. It's also number of people in the household. And what we tend to find in the practice is it starts to get tricky because when you have situations where two households have broken apart, but there is, say, shared custody of the children, that's whereas the trustee, we can come in and put a little judgment to it because it's not a very hard and fast calculation because we do have to consider how many people in the household, how is custody shared, where do the children live most of the time. It can become a little bit of a, we call it an adjustment just to determine what really represents that person's situation. Because, if custody is 50-50, then should we give them credit for that they do have that child in their household because they do have to rent an apartment that might be 2 bedrooms or other costs, groceries, different things like that, that would really be for that single parent with their child and treat them as a household of 2 rather than just as an individual of 1.